Okay, welcome, brothers. Bienvenidos, hermanos. Benvenuti, fratelli, to to the Zoom call and to the Fratelli podcast. We say Fratelli podcast that this is our second Zoom call, and so now we have here Parmeswar Srivastava from India that will be the host that we will host this meeting today, and now we have another Hermano from America Latina. Nestor, hola, how are you guys?
Good. Thank you for having me.
All
Thank
good,
you
man.
for
Thank you for having me as
joining.
well.
Yeah, thank you for the availability. So it's a pleasure to talk with you, and then I now Parameswar, you can
Yeah.
you
So
can
I
you
think all of us
can
are
take
in
over.
excellent mood. All of us are in excellent mood this season based on how Inter is playing. 2024, I think, has been a great start. All games won by us. So, I mean, yesterday's game, especially, most of us thought that Bologna, one of the better teams in Serie A, we might not win. But here again, Inter surprises us, and Simone Inzaghi with the perfect game plan. We score one, and then the second half, we defend and we get the win. So, I just want to get your early thoughts. I'll start with Nestor since he's new to the podcast. Then I'll come to you, Falco. So, tell me, Nestor. Uh, I asked you this before we started, so let me start with this question, anyways. Uh,
Yeah.
have you seen Inter play so well? You've been watching Inter since '97. You told me, right? You told us. Are you like? Have you seen Inter play so well and so convincingly well from all those years you've watched Inter?
No,
No.
it's Nestor. Okay, no.
Yes. No, Parmesan, never. Even though we started a little bit over 10 years ago to started playing with attacking football since I think Leonardo when he was a head coach. Even though the 2006-7 season in which we won by basically the same amount of point difference, we've never seen this attacking type of football. And one point that I want to give credit to Inzaghi is that besides providing a attractive attacking style of football, he also has learned from his previous mistakes, in which now the defense, the goalkeeper, and the midfield, they defend really well. There is a perfect balance in every single line of the 11-man team. They know the role players, the substitutes, and to be honest, again, basically there's no weak point in the team besides the two substitute forwards. A three-man defense, having like a small amount of goals received, it's actually absolutely ridiculous. We just, as you mentioned, we were like kind of mocking Jan Sommer lately because he doesn't play. Actually, yesterday he did play, and he still have all the reflexes and stops that we need. So answer to your question, no, never. In almost since '97, I've never seen this attacking and defensive style of football. That this is the honeymoon that we don't want for us to end. But as long as we secure the Scudetto and progress as much in the UEFA Champions League, we're happy.
Yeah. Falco, I really like what Nestor said. And one thing he said that really stands out is that he said this Inter barely has any weaknesses. And he rightly points out it's mainly the backup strikers. And even Alexis is starting to step up his game. It's only Arnautovic mainly. I want to ask you, Falco, speaking of depth, Bisek, this kid, I mean, not a lot of us had heard of him. Of course, he was playing in the Danish Superliga for Aarhus, and we signed him for 7 million, that too paying 3.5 million in the first year. And some fans had their doubts, they were like, who is this kid? Why are we spending 7 million on him? But look at how easily he has settled in. He didn't play much initially. It is only when Pavard got injured in October against Atalanta is when he started playing. But look at how comfortably he has settled in. Just so perfectly. Like he doesn't look nervous at all in any game. And yesterday, this game which could have been a potential maybe small banana skin for us. This guy just scores the winner, looks comfortable, puts in a dominant display. How impressed are you by Bisek and what do you think of him? What do you think his potential is, Falco?
Yeah, it's surprising for us. I mean, for us, it's a big surprise, and because I didn't expect if Bisek is very good strong player. He can dribble also. I mean not like the common defender now. So it's like when you have Bisek at the right center back, and you have Bastoni, it's like you have two defenders that can dribble so very well, two central defenders that in this era is not easy to find a profile like Bisek. So many people also say that, and I am agree with their opinion. It's like Bisek has been at Inter from 3 years or 4 years ago, but this is the first season actually of Bisek, and he's still a reserve for Pavard. Uh, I am very impressed with his his quality, and also he's very confident when he's playing. So it's like he has scored 2 goals uh, in Serie A. It's like the first one, if I'm not mistaken, the first one was the first goal was with Lazio, no?
Yeah,
Against
the
Lazio.
first goal was his goal, or you mean his appearance?
No, the first goal of Bisek
Oh, goal
against
was against this one, right? Your
Lazio.
the header. No, the goal was that header, the flick header he scored. Nestor, what game was it precisely? I keep forgetting his first goal ever.
I remember it was at the Olympico Stadium against Lazio.
Not the goal, not the goal,
Not a goal.
not the goal. The goal was at home to. I keep forgetting. He scored that header, the difficult header,
Yeah,
if
but
you remember.
he has scored 2 goals now. So which is,
Yeah.
I mean, it is good. It is a good. If we talk from the point of view, I mean, statistically, it is good
Mm.
for someone who doesn't play regularly like the others, like Bastoni. So he scored one more goal than Bastoni. So which is very good. We bought him only more or less 7 million euros, but
Yeah,
the
and it was the Lecce game, Falco. It was Lecce at home. I remember now. You remember the game was not easy. They were making it tough for us to break him down, and he scored
yeah.
that difficult header, his first goal. Correct. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and also I'm a little bit curious if he plays on the cent
Mm.
on the central. I mean, like the Fry's role,
Devra.
Acerbi's role.
Mm.
I'm a little bit curious because uh,
Mm. Mm.
the role, like, where the Fry and Acerbi play is a little
Mm.
bit different. It's like a role that you must have a good vision, no? A good vision, like to
Yes. Yes. Correct.
control
Correct.
all the things in the defense.
Yep. So yeah, man. Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. Like Bisek. The strength about our team is that a lot of players can cover multiple roles. Bisek at Arus he used to actually play as left center back, and that is why we signed him. But he's playing at right center back. But as you said, it is a curious thing. If he can play in the center, maybe he becomes a future replacement for when Acerbi leaves or Devray leaves. So, I mean, that was just the beginning. So, in the Bologna game, what I like personally, just to give a short briefing, was how Simone Inzaghi managed the game. In that first half, we went toe to toe with them. We were even actually outplaying them. We were creating enough chances. Darmian had a chance to score. He missed that, but still somehow this team manages to score. And in the second half, I saw a lot of people saying that Bologna outplayed us, but I think Simone Inzaghi just chose not to attack. There was no point to attack. I mean, because we have a tough game coming up against Atletico Madrid, and we will speak about that. But I was so impressed with how we managed the game, because Bologna are such a tough team to play. They take, and if you notice the pattern, they always come back in the second half and they win the game. They did that to Atalanta before us. So I was just so impressed with the level of organization. Chala came back from his injury, played well. Aslani and Fratesi, the level to which they've grown, especially Aslani. A lot of us had doubts about Aslani as to can this kid play like Hakan, because Hakan is on another level. So I was very impressed. Like, I thought maybe, this game will end as a draw. We might drop maybe 2 points here, but this Inter, as Nestor said, it's just unbelievable to watch. Every time, there is a match coming up, I'm eagerly waiting. Like, unlike the banter era days, like where you're like, I can't watch this team. Please don't make me watch this team. But yeah, I mean, I want to ask you guys one more thing straight to it. Who stood out for you? Like, apart from Bisek, I think pretty much all of us will give him the man of the match award. But apart from Bisek, who impressed you against Bologna yesterday? Which other players impressed you the most? I'll start with Nestor. Nestor, what do you think? Who whose mentality or quality were you so impressed by in such a tough game yesterday?
Well, I would say Acerbi because he's also coming back from injury, and I was gonna say that, for example, Acerbi, Çalhanoğlu, Thuram, they're coming back from injuries. They still don't have like 90 minutes in their legs for 3 days a week. Yes, 3 days every 7 days, 3 games every 7 days. So Acerbi looked like he never was injured. He's back in shape. The other one that surprised me again, as I mentioned before, Jan Sommer, because actually he did play and he performed. He stepped up, and again the defense. You mentioned Bologna in an away game. It was going to be tough. It was a possibility that we were gonna tie the game. It was gonna end in a tie, but we managed to win. Or Inter managed to win, and another clean sheet. That again, the defense managed the clean sheet for the entire game against the surprise team of this season, Serie A.
Yeah. Falco, do you agree with that? Do you think Acerbi was like the next standout player after Bisek yesterday? Or do you think it was someone else? Do you want to give credit to somebody else?
I would like to mention. I will. In principle, I'm agree with Nestor, but I would like to mention also Bastoni, because because Bologna played. I mean, played widely. I mean, by exploring our left side. So it is Bastoni side. It's like from Jens Ortgat, the ex Primavera.
Yes, ex Primavera.
And post, like they did a good collaboration, and also with Ferguson, that was very mobile, very flexible. So and also thanks to his assist, which is a beautiful. We are so lucky to have a center like Bastoni. Is a tall guy, but he, I mean, he can cross like he reminds me. Sorry, he reminds me like a foot of Maxwell is like with a good cross. No,
Maxwell. Yeah.
We are very lucky to have
Yeah,
Bastoni.
I think what you said is that we're very lucky to have Bastoni and a leader also like Acerbi, because this guy at the age at which he's performing so well is just surprising. And we also have Luis joining us. Hola, Luis. It's good to have you on the show. Tell us your quick thoughts on yesterday's game, Luis. Nestor and Falco give their thoughts. They think Bisek was the man of the match, and Acerbi was excellent too. What do you think? What was impressive for you in yesterday's game against Bologna? What impressed you the most? Given that it was such a tough game, what impressed you the most yesterday?
First of all, hola amigos, how you doing? I'm really happy to be with you again. Okay, well, I really think that this was the last tough game in the
Wow.
in the path to the Serie A title. I mean, we still have Napoli and Milan, but I think that this one was the toughest to on the way to get ready to achieve the Serie A title. And I believe that what we saw yesterday is the example of what Simone Inzaghi is doing this season with the team. He's not getting crazy. He's taking its time to read the game, to read what he needs to win the game. With this specific Bologna, who is an amazing team, I think that if they have a best number 9, a best striker, probably they will be fighting with Juventus for the second position.
Wow.
I mean, yesterday we won because they weren't able to score. Definitely, at least 30 minutes of the second part, we were defending us, and they just were not able to score because they didn't have this killer, this Lautaro that we have, or maybe this Vlahovic, or this Giroud. You know, I mean, they played very well. They are very intelligent. I think that Mota is doing an amazing job with them because it's pretty much the same team that Sinisa had. You know, it's pretty much the same squad, and Thiago Mota just made them work in an amazing way, and I really think that also Simone showed and explained to the world what he's doing with this Inter. He moved pieces of his squad. He played with not the starting team. He's waiting for Atletico and Madrid, and I really thought that we were going to tie this game. I am impressed that we won it. I'm sorry, and definitely Bisek just did it amazing. I love the way that the team plays with the fullbacks. In this case, with Bastoni on the left, and how it sends across to Bisek and how he scored. I think that it started with Conte. I remember that he made them play along with the wingers. But definitely we can see. I've heard that you said that Bastoni is doing it like Maxwell, and I think that you said it because he has an amazing left foot. He is very good, not just to defend but to create. And well, I believe that we can say that about this winning, we have like 75% of the Serie A title right now.
I mean, you summed up the game very well, Luis. Before we move on to Atletico Madrid, I want to ask you guys 3 different questions. I'll start with Nestor first, because you pointed out about the backup strikers, right? So I'll take this to you. Marco Arnautovic, injured again. I mean, I don't want to laugh. It's a sad thing. I don't really like to make fun of injuries or anything, but come on, man. This guy was just starting to somewhat play better. He was linking up, like he was against Atletico Madrid. Sure, his finishing isn't the best, but he was starting to do things right. He was starting to get some confidence, otherwise you see him irritated all the time on the pitch. And man, he gets the same injury like he did against Empoli, but on the other leg. So just tell me, Nestor, how frustrated are you with this? Because this is the final stretch of the season, 10 games left. As Luis said, he feels it's the most now's the time to wrap up the title. How big of a miss will he be, or do you think he will not be missed? And how just frustrated are you with this Arnautovic scenario completely? Right.
Well, number one, I think Marotta is our best signing of the entire team. But at the same time, he made a big mistake signing Arnautovic, not extending Edin Dzeko's contract, but to signing Arnautovic with that 18 million amount fee plus a salary. So it's kind of old, injury prone. He is, I know, yes, big, tall, kind of slow, but he can handle the ball. The typical old-fashioned center forward. But yes, he was getting confidence back, but he rested Lautaro yesterday. Thuram is getting back in form. Even Alexis Sanchez, we all know he has his injury history, but he's at the right place at the right time with the right fitness. And I think we're not gonna need Arnautovic for the Atletico game. We're good with Alexis, and as long as the team provides or create chances, I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the thing is, you always want your team to be fit because rarely this season you can actually look back and say Inter have a fully fit squad. Like just before Arnautovic's injury, it was literally 24 hours. We had a fully fit squad. Of course, Sensi and Cuadrado excluded, and we had again this guy gets injured. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think we should be able to manage. I mean, it's the last stretch. Alexis is playing well. Now, Falco, I'll come to you before I come to Luis with the last question. Now we see if I hope you guys can see my screen. You know, the news here says Alexis Sanchez would like to stay for another year, and there might be talks. Okay, now Falco, I'll put this question to you like this: next year, if Inter go far in all competitions, we might play 71 or 72 matches, right? Do you think, given the way he's playing right now, his age and everything, as Nestor said, he's a bit injury prone? Would you keep this guy? Also considering that he likes to play and at times he can get angry over it if he doesn't get enough time. So now that he's playing well, Falco, would you want to keep Alexis Sanchez if there is a possibility of keeping him?
So in my opinion, personally,
Yeah.
I would like to keep him. I mean, to see him still with us for the next year, because as we know that next year in 2025 we will have Club World Cup, no, which is there will be, I mean, another competition to do. We will have I mean, Serie A, Coppa Italia, and Champions League for sure. But we will have another. So for Taremi is coming in this summer, and if Arnautovic will stay with us, so we will have 5 strikers, which is good. Even we know Alexis Sanchez has an injury history, but I think because I very like his profile, his quality. I mean, because he's typical. I mean, but at the same time, it's like a profile like Alexis Sanchez, but now he's 34, 35, if I'm mistaken, years old. His age, no? But if you remember, guys, when we after the match against Lecce, Sanchez, I mentioned this thing in our first meeting. Sanchez wrote a caption on Instagram. It's like he's very happy to play finally to play the whole game again after a long time. So I can consider it's like a kind of protest now, because he said that football is life. Football, yo amo football. Football is la pasión. He always said like that. So but I would love to keep him. I mean, to see him still with us for the next year, because he will be useful. I think he's still and he's still useful.
And
That's my opinion.
and Falco, I think Alexis Sanchez, when he's playing well, he's a joy to watch. He does a lot of, he's like one of those, eye-pleasing players to watch. And when he's in form, it's all good. But when this guy doesn't get game time, he can complain. But we'll move on from that. We'll see how this new develops. I'll come to Luis for this last Bologna-related question. Luis, let's assume for some reason, let's assume we win the Scudetto and the Champions League. Okay, we just win everything that is yet to be won this season. Do you think a Simone Inzaghi will consider leaving even if he has 1 year left on his contract? And B, if he does leave, okay, I hope he doesn't, but let's assume if he does choose to leave, do you think Thiago Motta, someone like Thiago Motta, is the right choice given what he's doing right now? He has so much demand, even Juventus want Thiago Motta. AC Milan are trying to look at him as well. Napoli tried to sign him. There is interest from Barca as well. So, Luis, these are the two questions. First of all, do you really think Simone will leave if he achieve all glory? And if he does, do you think Thiago Motta should be the guy to take over from him? Just a hypothetical question.
I don't think that Simone leaves if he wins everything, because let's say you have Liverpool, you have Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Those are the three teams that could sign him. Because Real Madrid is not going to sign Simone, not yet or not now. Manchester United, it's not a project that I think that Simone would like to join for, because they are not even playing European competitions. And I mean, I don't think that he goes to Brighton or Aston Villa or Fulham. I mean, any English time could sign him about his wage and a promise to have signings for the next summer. But I don't think that he leaves. I mean, it's something like what Lautaro is doing right now. Lautaro, it's on the spot. Every team in the world would like to take him and to make him his number 9. But I think that Lautaro, as well as Simone, they are right now in the best team to develop their careers. I think that Simone could achieve a lot of things. I don't know if a Champions League right now or in 2 or 3 tournaments. I mean, we don't even know how it's going to be this new Champions League. Like the new format. And I believe that he's already talked with Marotta about the contract extension. I'm pretty sure that Marotta already done it. I don't think that they are thinking what is going to happen. I believe that if he goes, maybe they could try with Mota, but I don't think that Mota will sign Inter. I even think that he's going to go with PSG or maybe Barcelona. He played there. He played in both teams, and I think that he's going to search for new adventures outside Italy. I think that if he joins Juventus right now, he's just going to be a part of the same. I mean, Francisco, one of the members of the Interclub Mexico, yesterday I was speaking with him, and he said Juventus could even sign Pep Guardiola, and they are going to be just the same horrible team. They don't have good players. They don't have good ideas. They just have a lot of money, and the referees with their side. But maybe, I mean, not the same as we were, but they are on their Banterera now, So I don't think that Mota would sign Juventus or Milan either. I think that he's going to be on the outside. Right now, I would say, of course, I would like to see Jurgen Klopp. If Simone leaves, he's not going to sign for Inter, or also Tuchel. I think that he's a good manager, but I don't see right now any coach that could sign for Inter. When you see all the work that Marotta has done since Conte and nowadays,
absolutely.
I think that Spalletti. Let's imagine that this is a house. Spalletti did the, how do you say in English, foundations?
Yeah, foundation,
The
correct.
foundations. Then Conte built up the house,
Yep.
and Simone put all the little pieces of
Absolutely, I
furnitures
get
and
it.
stuff to have a wonderful place to live in. And I don't think that Marotta will miss this 7 years project. I'm pretty sure that he's already he already agreed his contract extension. Marotta also in Auxilio. I think that they are going to continue. Also, I think that the Shank family is going to continue as well.
You make a very good point, Luis, because the entire management extended their contracts until 2027. So I think that tells us three things. A, the owners are going to stay, which I know we have a lot of financial issues, but I'm personally fine with because they know the club. I would rather have people that know the club than someone like Thomas Ziliakas who just talks on Twitter all the time, and now he has police after him. So that's one thing, and I think Simone Inzaghi, as you said, trusts this management as well. Obviously last season was not the best in the league. We had 12 defeats, but still you can see that just like a player, even Simone Inzaghi has grown as a coach, and I would love nothing for him but for him to stay, man, because I think this is just the right moment and he can take us to the next level. So I think we'll move on from the Bologna game. I think we've discussed that enough, Falco. We'll come to of course, the Champions League, the all important game against Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano. Again, if you guys can see my screen, you see the recent results. Away results are atrocious. Lost to Cadiz, lost to Athletic Club. Of course, they won at home to Betis, but lost to us. Drew to Almeria, lost to Sevilla, lost to Athletic Club. The thing with Atletico Madrid, terrible away form, but a different beast at home. I'll start with you, Nestor. Uh, I want you to talk a bit about the first leg. It ended 1-0, obviously, but realistically speaking, given how the second half went, what do you think the score should have been or should have ended as? And are you, in general, confident that we will see this through and qualify for the quarterfinal?
As of yesterday, I thought it was going to be difficult. Again, I think we all agree that we know Diego Simeone very well, and we knew that this 180-minute matchup, he was going to take us to the limit until the 150, 160 minute with this. I think it was going to be tied like 0-0 or 1-0, which basically is right now. And then he's going to attack the final 20, 30 minutes. We're used to it. We have 10 years seeing the same thing. But the first game, I think it should have ended at least 2-0, 3-0. But again, being realistic against a Simeone team, I knew it was going to be difficult. Now, I know that when they play at home, it's a very very different. However, again, his last 5 games in all competitions, he has lost 3. So I think I woke up today and I said to myself, hey, to be honest, I think there's a really good chance, or at least winning 1-0 or a 1-1 at the Metropolitano. I don't think it's impossible. Antoine Griezmann did not play yesterday. If he's going to play, he's not going to be fully fit. Memphis Depay is, I don't like the comparison, but he's the equivalent of maybe an Arnautovic or another previous striker. But Morata, he's very capable, not the most lethal scorer, but he's very, he can create a lot of chances. However, the midfield doesn't intimidate me that much. So I think Inter has a very good chance on Wednesday advancing. And it's not going to be easy. Again, in the second half, they're going to attack. They're going to wait. They're going to try to control the tempo. But that's it.
You brought up a very interesting point, Nestor, that Griezmann. Cholo said that he's not sure if he'll be available for the second leg. Again, Cholo likes to play his mind games because Morata was supposed to miss the first leg, but the guy magically recovered before his timeline and he was there. But I'll come to Falco and then Luis. Falco, I'm sure again you can see this tweet. You look at players like Axel Witsel, Aspilicueta, look at their aging players, mostly past their prime. Gabriel Paulista, known for his red card, savage, not that good. To Nestor's point, we should have actually won by more. If because you saw the second half, the way they were opened up, these defenders did not do well individually, Falco. It's only when they defend compact they perform well. So knowing that they will actually push for that equalizer mostly in the second leg, Falco, what do you think Inter's strategy should be? Should they do what they did at Bologna? Do well in the first half, maybe try to get a goal and then do what we did in the second half, just absorb the pressure. Or what do you think? Is there any other way to tackle this Atletico Madrid side? Do you think we should keep targeting their center backs because they are not that great? What do you think should be the approach from Inter?
Yeah, for me, it's good. I mean, for me, it's good for Inter if Inter can score, and I mean, can score an early goal. It will be I mean, in the first half, it will be very, very good. So it's like we can continue like the same strategy like we applied against Bologna. So but against Bologna was a little bit different, in particular in the second half, because many players, maybe also Inzaghi at that time was thinking about the game against Atletico. Even eventually, the game against Bologna, the result would be, the draw result 1 point. It wouldn't be a problem for us because we are flying. We are still flying with the difference, the different points. But the best strategy is like the same strategy like we played in the first leg against Atletico. So we have not considered any goals after 75, if I'm not mistaken, after 75 minutes. So I think it's good to score an early goal in the first half, and we have to concentrate. On the second half. Like Inzaghi was thinking about this game yesterday at the Stadium Renato Dell'Ara, because he took. He took Hakan for Aslani. So he saw also Mkhitaryan for Fratesi. It's like the games against Bologna. If you let Aslani play, there is still a risk because Bologna, they are very good in this season. So, but Inzaghi is smarter than me. So it was very big decision, I think, because Inzaghi also wants, it's like his focus also in this game, because last season we played a beautiful final match. Even we even City won the Champions League, but we were not bad in the final. So I think Inzaghi wants to repeat again to reach the final. So that's why his focus was for Atletico when he was at the Stadium Renato Dell'Ara. So I think by Lautaro has not played yesterday, so he's full resting. No, with full resting, it's like to give more than 100%, if I can say. All his quality for the match against Atletico. We know that playing against Atletico in Madrid will be very difficult, very difficult. And but I still believe that we will score at least one goal. Yeah, we will qualify.
We will qualify. That's what I wanted to hear at the end of everything. But yeah, you said it well. Now I'll come to Luis. Luis, Cholo Simeone, after yesterday's loss to Cadiz, the whole, I've been reading their press conferences and everything, Atletico Madrid, all of them sound very defeated, very disappointed, not just Cholo, but the players. Cholo even had to say that, I am with the players until death, I'll fight until the end of that game against Inter. And Barella was asked actually, what do you think about what Cholo said? And he said, if they are going to do the same, we will also fight until the end, until death. So I want to ask you, where now that it's away for us, we've handled tough atmospheres like this, right? Many people think that we might not be able to handle this atmosphere because it's the Wanda Metropolitano. But Luis, do you see some similarities in this game to last season's game against Porto? Because you remember those two ties. First leg, a random goal by Lukaku came off the post, he scored it. Second leg was hell. I would say that Porto game was tougher than the derby, the two legs of the derby, and even the Benfica game. That Porto game at Dragao was something. Onana kept us in it. Do you see any similarities here? And one more question. Where do you think this match will be decided? In which area of the pitch? Midfield, attack, defense? Where do you think?
Okay, first of all, I think that right now, even when could be something that looks like that series against Porto, this 23-24 Inter is stronger than the last year's squad. Also,
Definitely.
I think that Inzaghi is more confident about his job and his status all around the world. Everyone is talking about Inzaghi and his Inter. The last year in Latin America, Nestor will know, we say El Caballo Negro, or the Black Horse. The Black Horse, it's that team that you are not waiting to do something special, and they reach the semifinals or finals. We were that Black Horse. We are no longer anymore that Black Horse, because you said, anywhere you read, you said, okay, this Champions League could be Manchester City, Real Madrid, and Inter. Those are the three options to win this Champions League. So this Atletico de Madrid, since Cholo arrived like 10 years ago, it turned this Atletico de Madrid into this team that you don't want to play against, because they are going to make it tough. They are not going to let you play. They are just going to kick you. They are going to take the ball. They are going to get you mad. And if they have just one chance, they are going to score, and all the players will go into defend in the way to win this game, playing awful 1-0, and that's the Cholos way. We have this advantage. We won the first game, and now we are able to score one goal. I think that Inzaghi is going to do the best that he knows to do with this Inter. Take the ball and make all the team play looking to score. I think that, just like Falco said, Lautaro is fully rest, waiting for him to take the responsibility of leading the team to score. And once we score one goal, I mean, this Atletico de Madrid, it's a very good defender team, but we are Italians, We also made the catenaccio, and we have the best defense in Europe. So I think that it's not going to be easy, even when they lost 3 games in the last month. It's not going to be easy. They are going to play the way that they know. I don't think that the Metropolitano is going to impact psychologically to the team. They have experience. They already played a Champions League final. They already won a lot of cups. They already played a lot of tournaments. We still have players that won the Serie A 3 years ago. So now we have a team. It's not the same Barella. It's not the same Lautaro. It's not the same Bastoni. It's not the same Di Marco. We have different players right here. So I think that they just need to go and play full concentrated to this game, and we have a lot of possibilities to advance to quarters. It's not going to be easy at all, but I think that we can do it.
Yeah.
I remember that when we played the Porto, they were also playing with the press. Do you guys remember this cartoon with the guy in the motorcycle delivering a pizza?
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember that graphic. Porto made it, right? Yeah.
Porto made
Yep.
it, and everyone around was playing this mental game to
Man.
trying to scare Inter, and
Yeah.
we just did it. So no, I think that this game is going to be tough, not easy at all,
Yeah.
but I think that we have what we need to win this series.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Luis, because even when I saw a lot of reactions from Atletico Madrid fans after the first leg, they were super confident that we are winning. They said this. I saw a lot of this, that we are winning 2-0, 3-0 at Wanda Metropolitano. And I was very shocked. It's good to have belief, but I don't think Inter are that bad or something like we are going to lose 3-0 or something. But I'll come to you, Nestor. Luis said this one word very which stood out. He said this team is far more mature than last season. It's better, but it's also much more mature than last season. So now, like in the first leg, you saw Carlos Augusto come in. He silenced Griezmann completely. Because of him, Griezmann had to go off, and since then he has been injured again. So he might not make it to the second leg, Carlos Augusto as well. So which one player or maybe two or three players you think need to show that level of maturity and boldness that Augusto did, in your opinion, in that second leg? Because that atmosphere, as Luis said, it's going to be difficult. It's probably going to be Porto, a flashback of that Porto game, or even like that Roma game, where we had to win by making a comeback. So, in your opinion, Nestor, which are those players you are relying on to show that maturity and to calm everyone down around them for that atmosphere at Wanda Metropolitano?
Well, number one, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I
Hmm.
think he didn't play in the first leg. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think, or I expect that he has a very good impact, a positive impact in the game. I rely on his passes, the ball passes throughout the midfield. I think the previous question that you made, the game is going to be won at the midfield. And I have a lot of expectations on this one with Lautaro scoring, because yes, he can score a lot of in Serie A, but I think he's going or has to make a statement in the Champions League in Europe with all the flashes, all the cameras. I think everyone is expecting a lot of him, as he's been a little bit quiet in the Champions League in Europe, but I expect Çalhanoğlu and Lautaro to have a big game.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you rightly said, Hakan is so important, because I remember that first half, he almost got into a fight with Rodrigo De Paul, and I was just saying secretly that please calm down, Hakan. We need you, for the next leg. Don't get yourself red carded or anything. But I think, yeah, Hakan. And if you ask me personally, I would even look at Acerbi, man, because this guy, you put any striker in front of him, this guy will, silence him. Morata is very mobile, but we'll see. I'll come to Falco. Falco, I think we've discussed that a lot. I want to get your predicted 11. I'll ask Nestor and Luis as well if they want to make changes to the lineup. But Falco, starting with you, what's the 11 you want to see? Of course, assume that Augusto and Arnautovic won't be there. Arnautovic won't be there, and Augusto we don't know yet. But just tell me, like, what's the lineup you want to see, given the lineup that played at Bologna, and who do you think is the most, ready to step up and, fight against Atletico Madrid?
Okay. Of course, with 3-5-2. I mean the formation, because that's my favorite as well when I play when I play the PES. I mean PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, PlayStation.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sommer, Ben Pavard, Acerbi, Bastoni, and then Darmian, Barella, Çalhanoğlu, Mkhitaryan, the man of the movement, uomo del movimento, and Federico Di Marco, and in the attack, Turamen Lautaro.
Thuram and
That's
Lautaro.
the best
I'll
players.
come to you, Luis, and then to Nestor. Falco, so you have anything more to add to it? Do you want to add?
Sorry, what is it?
No, do you want to add anything more to what you said after the lineup?
No. That's, I mean, that's
Yeah,
the best lineup.
yeah, that's the best 11 we can field. I'll come to Luis. Luis, I think some people will say maybe Dumfries should start over Darmian. There will be chatter once the predicted 11 starts coming out closer to the match. Do you
Mhm.
think, would you start Dumfries over Darmian? Because for me, before I ask you this question, for me, I know Dumfries has actually had a very good season. You know, he gets criticized a lot. He's actually had a good season, and he's probably more threatening than Darmian going forward. But I personally always feel that Darmian is a far more intelligent player, even in the defensive phase, which Dumfries doesn't have that IQ on the pitch. So, Luis, tell me, considering all these factors, would you start Darmian or Denzel uh, to weather the storm that Atletico will bring out? What do you think?
I would go with Darmian, definitely, because he's a smarter player. He also has higher defensive skills than Dumfries. I think that Dumfries had his best season since he signed Inter, of course, definitely. But I think that Simone is going to play with his five defenders, his 5 stars in defense. For me, will be Darmian, Pavard, De Vrij, Bastoni, and Di Marco. I think that this defense should be the starting defense for specifically for Atletico. We know that when you put a Chervi, he can take the striker, and he's not going to let them do anything. But this game is going to be different because they are going to play with Morata, but they're going to try to play also with Memphis and try to move a lot. And Acerbi it's not that fast, not as fast as the Vrij. I think that's why it's going to play the Vrij alongside with Darmian in this play, because when you have this static reference, the best choice for the libero it's Acerbi. But when you have an attack that is going to be moving like Lautaro and Thuram does, you need to put the Vrij along with Bastoni or Pavard, because they can cover with more speed and they have more movement on our area, on the defensive side of the team. Also, I think that we know that Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, and Varela are going to play on the midfield, and Thuram and Lautaro. Even when Çalhanoğlu played with Bologna, I think that he's not in the best shape. He needs to take more confidence again. I mean, he had an injury. And also, I don't know, what do you think about his last statement saying that he's the best regista in the world? I think that it was not like the best thing to say right now in this moment. You can say it when the season is done, but not when you just won the Supercopa. You even when we know or we think that we are going to win the Serie A, it's not done yet. And also, the champions is the champions. You cannot say that. And I think that maybe he's not. He does not have his feet on the ground. Maybe he's thinking that he's more than he is. And I hope that Simone and all the team takes him back to the ground and, hey, you have to play. Stop saying that things. Come on, we need you. So I think that it's going to be the starting team, and we're not going to see any surprise. And I would go with Darmian specifically because he has higher skills, defensive skills than Dumfries, and we need to be very strong in defense for this game.
Absolutely. I think, Luis, you summed it up very well. I want to ask Nestor, because this defensive conversation that Luis has struck up between De Vrij and Acerbi, I like it because, as he said, Atletico Madrid's forwards are not Morata is not like Osimhen, because Osimhen is this huge guy. He's always going to have a target on him. Acerbi knows how to mark these kind of strikers. He marked Holland as well in the UCL final. So I want to ask you again. I will come to you with Acerbi or Devre only because Morata and Depay. These guys are very mobile strikers. If you remember when Morata came off the bench in the first leg, he was causing problems right away. He started creating all sorts of problems. So Nestor, tell me, do you think De Vrij is the right man? Considering he's also doing well, he's had his career revival. He was, last season he wasn't that good. So are you confident in him starting, or do you think we need a familiar face like Acerbi to return to the starting 11?
That's like all of us. The question that we're happy to have that kind of problem.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the problem that we all like, and not also
Yeah.
in the center of the defense, but in every other area.
Absolutely.
Within the team. And last game, for example, the Vrij played like the Serie A best defense
Yeah.
3 years
Yeah.
ago, right?
Yeah.
It was like last season in Champions League, Edin Dzeko or Lukaku against Manchester City,
Exactly.
right? So, but
Yeah.
the Vrij played amazing against Atletico in the first leg, but probably knowing Simone Inzaghi, I think he's gonna go with Acerbi. In the end, again, to answer your question, I don't mind if De Vrij or Acerbi plays.
Yeah,
I don't mind at all.
It's a very good problem to have after all these years where we are used to seeing, again, with all due respect, D'Ambrosio come off the bench in a UCL final. Oh boy, I don't
Yes,
think I need to
correct.
say more. Exactly. Where our UCL opponents didn't bring on Riyad Mahrez, we never bring in players like Bellanova and Ambrosio. I think it's a good problem to have. That's a good answer. But is your predicted 11 the same as what Falco and Luis said, or do you want to tweak something in that? Do you think there should be something different?
No, I would go with what Luis said. I don't have any problems. And
Yeah.
to the other question, also Darmian instead of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and also I think what happens at times is that people don't realize that Darwin can go forward and attack. Yesterday, also, if you remember, right after the first goal, this guy immediately created a chance. Barella almost scored from that. So I think, yeah, I would also pick Darmian, and I can't disagree with the lineups you have picked. And I just want to get your opinion, Nestor, on what Luis said. And I think I'll come to Falco also with the Calhanoglu quote, because I think this is a very interesting discussion before we wrap up. He said, as Luis pointed out, that he is the best regista in the world. That was a specific sentence. First to you, Nestor, do you think he is right in having that confidence, or do you think, as Luis said, do you think he went overboard and first he should actually claim those trophies and then make these kind of statements?
Yes, I think he crossed the line, but in the end, they are professional players. Tell me which professional player doesn't have an ego at the stratosphere, right? They think that they're better than Maradona and Pelé, but we all know it's not the truth. But we have to respect that, and we like that confidence. That's the confidence that we like in every single player within the team. He really is top 3, top 5 in Europe, but unfortunately he doesn't have the marketing from Serie A team in regards with a English Premier League team or the 2-3 teams in La Liga. We all know that, but since Inter is in the conversation with Real Madrid and Manchester City,
absolutely,
people are also already mentioning Calhanoglu as one of the top 3 registas in the world without any doubt.
Yeah. Falco, I'll ask you the same question. Do you think, is it wrong for him to have this kind of confidence now? Because Nestor said marketing, that word is correct, because nobody else is going to praise Hakan Calhanoglu. Not many people other than Inter fans are going to praise and watch and say that Hakan is right now top 3 registas or even the best in the world. So was he wrong in promoting himself or not? Because who else is going to do it otherwise? This is the best time to be an Inter fan. People are saying we are probably the most complete team in the world right now, even more than Manchester City, some people say. So do you think he was right, or do you agree with Luis where he went overboard?
It's like depends. I mean, depends the point of view. Okay, if we are talking about the confidence, the confidence itself. So it's good if he said like that. But I'm also agree with Luis, what Luis said. So it's like it was not the right time to make that statement. I mean, by comparing with Toni Kroos and Rodri, because they won many trophies compared to Hakan, but I mean these two different points of view. I mean, the first one was like the confidence thing is good for him because a professional player needs to be confident. Otherwise, he
Exactly.
he cannot play as a professional. But he gets insulted also by Milan fans. No, hey Hakan, you have not won the Serie A title, but you say this kind of thing. You saw something big first, and then you can start to make a statement, to say something.
And
They
to
say,
your point, Falco, to your point, just before you say, Lukaku did this as well back in 2020, if you remember, before the Scudetto was sealed, he went out and said he's top 5 strikers in the world. So yeah, just to point that out. Go ahead, Falco.
Lukaku was, was another thing because he could play, he could play two roles in the crucial matches. It's like he could play as a striker, he could play as a defender, but the defender for the opponents. So, but because it happened two times when you play. I mean, when we were playing the final Europa League against Sevilla. Do you remember what Lukaku did? I mean, it was unacceptable. In my opinion, we could win that match. We could win the Europa League, but in the end,
yeah. I get you.
And it happened again. I mean the same thing in the final against Manchester City last year. So Lukaku was another thing, but I never considered Lukaku as a star. To be honest, I never considered. But you can agree with me, but but it's okay if you have not agree. But that's what I mean. That's what's my opinion with the Hakan statement. He's good, and also I want to say that we are very lucky to have him with the parametre zero in Italian. We say in Italian, parametre zero, gratis. No, it's like a ginseng or cappuccino is more expensive than Hakan cost. No, I mean to Inter. So yeah, depends. I mean, what the point of view are you using?
Yeah, Falco, you're absolutely right in saying the point of view thing, because I look at it like this. If I look at it from Luis's perspective, you actually have to have the trophy in hand to say those things, because you know I'm looking. I compare this with fans who are already saying, "Oh, we should target Juventus's 102-point record and stuff like that," which is fine. I want to break that as well. But first, I want the trophy in hand. More than anything, I'm confident in this Inter side. Don't get me wrong, but I first want to see the trophy because that will give me relief first. Same with Hakan. If I draw parallels, he has been excellent, right? He has replaced Brozovic so well. I I don't remember, like I don't think of Brozovic during the season. I love Brozo, but I don't ever miss him this season. So he has done his thing. He has every right to be confident, but until the trophy comes home, I get Luis's perspective. But on the other hand, to what Nestor said, that's also not wrong, because he brought up marketing. Who else is going to promote this Inter side? You only see few accounts doing that. Nobody else talks, very nice things about Inter. They only want to talk about the Premier League teams, Manchester City, or they want to talk about Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. That's it. They don't want to talk about Inter. So who else is going to be confident other than our players or other than our coach? If you look at it, Falco, uh, nobody talks about Simone Inzaghi that much either. He is a brilliant coach, but there are people who think De Zerbi is better than him. That's not true. I mean, come on, De Zerbi, you can't tell me De Zerbi is better than Simone Inzaghi. So I think, as Falco said, there are different views to this, and you can be. It depends on how you look at it. Personally, I actually liked Hakan said that Hakan had that confidence in himself, because playing in that regista role is very difficult. But also I fully understand where Luis is coming from, because we know Inter, we have seen Inter go through everything over these years. Nestor, as you said, you've been watching since '97, and I'm sure Luis has been watching for a long time as well, along with Falco. We've seen Inter go through everything, that we want to win the trophy first, and then our players can say what they want. So yeah, that was my view on it. So I think we'll come to predictions, guys. I'll start with Nestor. What do you think is the scoreline in the second leg and on aggregate? Do you think we'll go through or not? And who are you expecting to score from both sides?
Who's first?
You, Nestor.
Nestor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking into consideration Atletico de Madrid's recent form, I think Inter can win 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I expect Lautaro to score, not because it's Lautaro, but because I want Lautaro to score and get the headlines in Europe as because he deserves it. I don't think nobody deserves nothing, but I want Lautaro to score. Again, Simeone doesn't have any problem if the game ends 1-1 and go to extra time and go to penalty kicks. He likes that. I don't know why. But I think Inzaghi is going to do whatever he has to do to knock them off as soon as possible. 1-0 Inter, Lautaro. I don't think, even though it's going to be really difficult at the last 20-30 minutes with Atletico de Madrid, I think Inter is going to go through.
Yeah. That's a good prediction. I'll come to Luis and then in the end towards Falco, so that he can wrap up the show, Falco. So I'll come to Luis first. Luis, confident that we can continue our unbeaten away form? I mean, I think as fans, we at times tend to forget that we are still unbeaten away from home. Not lost a single game away from home in the Champions League and Serie A. Confident that we'll maintain that and go through, or do you think something else is happening?
I think that we're going to keep playing this Champions League, but I don't think that it's going to be easy at all. I mean, maybe we're going to start losing, and at the end we're going to tie the game 1-1, or maybe we're going to keep defending and finish the game 0-0. I don't think that we're going to see like 2 or 3 goals in this game. It doesn't matter which side you choose. We are going to see a very close game. We are going to see a defensive game in both sides, like the both styles of the Cholismo and Catenaccio. But I think that we are going to keep playing these champions. I think that we are going to be in the quarters of the champions. Not easy, but I think that right now in this moment we are in best shape than Atletico, and also the players, and Simone knows it.
Yeah. Falco, Luis said 2 words, this moment, and this Inter side gives me a lot of confidence. Like, I actually, whenever I look at like any game, as I said, I feel confident that we'll go the distance in any, the Serie A and the Champions League, Falco. So what do you think is happening? Do you think this record continues? Do you think this season will end on a high note and we'll actually go past Atletico and go the distance in the Champions League? What do you think?
Yeah, I said that we will qualify, and but I mean, in Champions League there is no easy game, no.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And in particular against Spanish team, because we couldn't beat Real Sociedad in the group So Real Sociedad is not that good in La Liga, but we couldn't beat them. I mean, in the first leg, first leg against Sociedad draw, and the second match draw. So it's not easy. It was not easy, and also against Atletico, if I want to say, the score, I would say 1-2. That means that we will concede one goal, because playing against Atletico in Madrid, in Wanda Metropolitano, it is another another thing. I mean, the atmosphere
Yeah.
from the Atleti fans will, I
Yeah.
mean, will affect also this game. But yeah, we are going to win. I'm really confident with the with Inter. I mean, with Inter at the moment because Inzaghi also, if I'm talking, I mean, from Inzaghi's side, like it looks like he's preparing this for this match. I mean, pretty well. So it's like by seeing we saw the substitution of the players against Bologna is like one of many preparations for Atletico for the match against
Yes,
Atletico.
yes.
It's like Inter are well prepared to face Atletico. So 1-2 and Lautaro will score like he did in the first meeting. But it was friendly match as I remember, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
20. Yeah. The last time we actually played them was in the proper competition was the Super Cup, which we lost to them. So this is revenge. This is definitely revenge. But I think I agree with all of you guys. I think you guys summed it up very well that this will be tough. Like I'm personally expecting a Porto type game from last season, just that I feel Atletico will be even tougher. I think we'll end with a 1-1 draw, and I think we'll go through. I mean, I don't care as long as we go through. That's what matters to me. So I think 1-1 draw, maybe Morata scores and then Lautaro equalizes, something like that, but we go through. So yeah, I think that was it. Falco, do you want to wrap up the show or do you want to take it from here?
Okay. Anyway, so it's finished now. So bye. Namaste. It's finished. Harvest. So I mean, so thank you guys for joining. So it was a little bit, I mean, challenging to organize this meeting because we are living in different time zones, which is not easy, not so easy, but we did it again. I mean, this is the second meeting, and hopefully will be a continuous activity. I mean, again, between us, for example, or also for the pre-match talk Inter Napoli next week. So I want to say muchas gracias. Thank you very much, hermanos. Nestor, but I mean, Nestor looks like a good speaker for this kind of activities.
I like this. I like this. We used to do this with Interclub Panama back in and with the Conte Scudetto. We used to do it almost every single week, and we enjoy this. I miss this actually.
So yeah, now we are doing like international calls now. We are from different countries and Parameswar, Shukriya Meherbani, you are a good host.
No, thanks. Yeah, it was fun, man. It's always good to talk about Inter with different fans. This is fun.
You're excellent. So thanks, Shukriya Meherbani. I would say in your language, Shukriya Meherbani. Thank you so much. And Luis, thank you. Muchas gracias, amigo.
Gracias, amigo.
Estás siempre disponible en sábado, on Saturday. And also Nestor will, if we talk on Saturday, Nestor also will be available, no? So, okay, thank you very much. And Forza Inter, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, sure. Nothing. Yeah.
Ciao.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure and nice to meet you, Nestor and Parmeshar. Hopefully, we're going to do this very often and with a lot of winnings, you know. So, un abrazo, amigos. Forza Inter sempre.
Yeah, Forza Inter, man. It was nice to have a chat with all you guys. I mean, it's fun to discuss Inter, and for the audience, I mean, we'll keep putting out stuff and make more social media pages. I guess Falco will do that so that people will know that we are actually